And thank you to just a few of our members who joined us just now. Unfortunately, more couldn't be here. It's a validation for our community to be witnessed and for our advocacy to be recognised. I'm Nolene Armstrong, one of the co-founders of the Northern Territory Lived Experience Network. On behalf of our network, it's also important that we acknowledge the Larrakia Nation as the traditional owners of Garramilla, the Darwin region. We acknowledge that sovereignty of these lands was never ceded and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. It's also incredibly important for us to recognise everyone in attendance with lived experience of mental distress, trauma, addiction and suicidality. And this includes individuals impacted by these issues and the family and kin who provide love and support. So I begin by reiterating the importance for our community, the lived experience community, to be seen, heard and validated in this forum, the Northern Territory Human Rights Awards, the Fitzgeralds. We are a largely invisible community. We have learned to hide our experiences for fear of stigma and discrimination. We know firsthand the experience of not being treated in accordance with our rights. Many of us have experienced human rights violations, and this has occurred during our most vulnerable moments, during times of crisis. However, we are also incredibly strong, highly knowledgeable, and profoundly resilient. We understand the system. We share this knowledge through our informal lived experience networks, and we share information about our rights. We are people who have learned the necessity to self-advocate, to have a say in the decisions relating to our care. By forming a collective, the NT Lived Experience Network, we have also learned that we are stronger together. In this forum, we have shared our knowledge of system rights, creating a growing community of people intent on having a voice in the highest level of decision making, the very systems which predicate our quality of life and our human rights. If you are not already aware, let me tell you, the mental health system has deeply rooted, powerful and structural hierarchies of power. It is skewed toward the clinical interventions with treatment done to people, oftentimes without their consent or consultation. At the very bottom of the chain of power is our community, the people most impacted. This is not just inherently unfair, it is 100% counterproductive to all of the published research and indeed our personal experience, which points to empowerment as the strongest indicator for recovery. System transformation has been a fundamental objective for more than 30 years of national mental health reforms. However, it will never, can never be achieved without empowering and listening to the people most impacted, without listening to the collective experiences and perspectives of what's required from people like us. This is not our opinion. Support for the establishment of lived experience representative bodies forms part of the United Nations Conventions for the Rights of People with Disability, the World Health Organization Quality Rights Framework for transforming mental health care. It also forms part of Australia's mental health strategy and is clearly defined in the National Mental Health Statement of Rights and Responsibilities, a preeminent document signed by every Australian state and territory health minister and referenced in the foreword of the Northern Territory Mental Health Act. The Northern Territory has the highest rates of mental distress, suicide and addiction, yet we remain the only state or territory that does not support or recognise lived experience peak body. And at present, the Australian Government is financing the establishment of 2 new national peak bodies, one for consumers and one for carers. The NT Lived Experience Network has sought to fill this void, to empower people with lived experience to contribute to systems advocacy, to foster a collective, independent and representative systemic voice for Territorians with lived experience. We have done this without funding or recognition for over 3 years. We have performed consultations, administered Northern Territory-wide surveys, written submissions, and fought to be invited to the decision-making table. We have persevered in an environment that is non-responsive and at times adversarial to our engagement. Several of our leaders manage active trauma responses as a result of our systemic advocacy, yet we persevere. We know that our movement is critically endangered, and the advocacy work we do on behalf of our community is woven through the threads of our personal recoveries. It is intrinsic to who we are, and until we raise more leaders, we will not leave the front line. Our goal was to use this platform to share the importance of what we do and ultimately to seek your support and allyship. We invite each and every one of you to contact us to find out more. Most of all, we ask that you please use your influence to support our movement. We have made it this far with an unwavering belief in our rights and with the allyship of our supporters. But we need more support. We need more Northern Territory allies. We need you. Else our community will never have the resources or invitation to genuinely participate in Northern Territory or national systemic decision making. If we do not have a collective voice, we cannot shift the imbalance of power. We cannot transform the system. We cannot create services that will facilitate recovery. We cannot improve mental health outcomes, and we cannot reverse the Northern Territory's heartbreaking suicide statistics. In closing, we want to acknowledge and thank the individuals and organisations who have supported us thus far. Thank you to Melaleuca, host of the Fitzgerald Awards and the Anti-Discrimination Commission, and to the judges for deeming us worthy. Thank you to our unwavering allies, Flinders University, who nominated us for this award and have evaluated our recovery programs which were created by community for community. Thank you to Response Employment and Training for allying with us to deliver the Northern Territory's first vocational pathway in POF. Thank you to the Alive National Centre for Mental Health Research Translation for your ongoing mentorship, elevating our research outcomes and including us as a national partner. Thank you to TEMCO and all of the other NT and interstate lived experience advocates and collective who walk and work alongside us, fighting for our voices to be heard. Thank you to the Northern Territory Mental Health Coalition, Northern Territory Community Visitor Program, Northern Territory Anti-Discrimination Commission, and our other interstate and national allies for championing the improvement of lived experience engagement in the Northern Territory. Thank you to the Northern Territory Primary Health Network, our most significant source of funding. You believed in our capability, allowing us to grow, learn, and transform into a national leader for the development and delivery of peer recovery programs. And thank you to our other funders, Department of Social Services, Alcohol and Drug Foundation, and NT Community Benefit Fund for Gambling Research. Most of all, thank you to our growing lived experience community. We are a collective, we are stronger together, we are peers, we have arrived, and we are not going anywhere.